Hello, everybody. It's another cool night. We're already in the 30s in the FM area. How low are we this morning? How low will we go tonight? I have my thoughts, and I'm going to share them with you right now. Bring your questions. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know what device you're watching from in the comments below right now. I'll have the details in your forecast beginning here.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, we're going to start with a look at the long-range forecast because there are some big-time changes, and once again, they're coming on your weekend. Here's what you need to know without any further ado. First and foremost, the next couple of days, quiet. The coldest of the air will be in many of our Valley and Minnesota counties tonight. Hi, Mary. Thank you so much. Or is it Maria? I'm sorry for watching. Good to have you on from Thompson. Thank you so much. All right, passing shower out to the east, and I got to tell you what, that looks pretty quiet as we go through your Thursday night. Now, look at what's going on in the Rockies and out to the west. As we head into Friday, there'll be some showers in southern and central parts of South Dakota, central parts of Nebraska. No big deal for us. We're quiet and on a warming trend as we close out the work week. Now, heading into Saturday night and Sunday, a decent chance of scattered showers across most of South Dakota, according to this, the American forecast model, and these showers will lift to the north and east as we go into the early hours of your Sunday morning. So another chance at some hit and miss showers of rain according to this American model. We will look at the European model just to compare and contrast. Camilla, good to have you on. Watching from the iPad in Hillsboro. Thank you so very, very much. And what platform are you watching on? Oh, pardon me, it's YouTube, because that's where you're commenting on. Thank you so very much. And Nathan, good to have you on from the FM area. What's up with you? All right, what happens? Do you see all this? Big sky country snow, and they'll take the moisture any way they can get it. The drought out there is just totally terrible. Now, let's put this puppy into motion. What happens? The showers move into Minnesota as we go into Sunday afternoon, leaving us with a quiet day for most of us in the afternoon here in the valley. But look what's going on. Northeast Montana. There's Fort Peck Reservoir, and it's drifting into northeast Montana up near places like Plentywood and also towards Culbertson, Brockton, Wolf Point, and Glasgow. Then the American model says, look out, northwesternmost North Dakota. No snow for us. I'm not forecasting that. And in fact, I'm not buying this 100% lock, stock, and barrel either. You know why? It's the American model, and it's several days out. And my model of choice is typically the European model. So what does it have to say? Let's take a look right now. As we compare and contrast models, you get a picture behind the scenes of what Hutch is dealing with every day when we're looking. And the more different these models are as we go out in time, the less confidence we have in the forecast. So that's why I like to open your eyes to sharing those little tidbits about our forecast and why sometimes we have to weigh in with some uncertainty. All right, here goes into Saturday. High pressure, quiet showers moving out of South Dakota as we go into the early hours. Well, this is actually Saturday night and into Sunday morning. Passing showers, rumbles of thunder. Someone was asking, does it look severe? Not at this particular time. The way it looks to me, most of the active weather would be way up in parts of Canada. Deborah, thank you for the stars. Thanks to all of you for your sharing of stars. Now, the European model then, as we go into Sunday, shows these showers and thunderstorms working their way through the region as we go through Sunday, but it doesn't show anything of any sort of snow shower activity. Now, I'm weighing my forecast more towards this European model than to the American model. But I will say this, the American model has been consistent in producing snow in the forecast for the weekend ahead. So it's forcing me to pay attention to it. Why? Because model run after model run, starting over from a fresh slate, it continues to bring that answer. Deborah, thank you for sharing stars with Hutch's weather, and thank you, Kim, as well. All of you are helping Hutch continue to grow on Hutch's weather. Watching from Warren, Minnesota, Linda, thank you so very, very much. I think I heard that they closed the drive-in theater for the season out there. I'm not sure if that's the case, but you can confirm or deny that report as well. And I do want to continue with the American model here going out, showing more unsettled weather as we head into next week, but not necessarily frozen weather. So there's the couple of models, and there are the differences in the forecast. Linda says, yes, confirming that the Warren Drive-In Theater, I think it's called Skyview, love it. Always fun to take the cars out there and just sit and watch. What a beautiful thing to have in our communities up there in Northwest Minnesota. Let's talk about your forecast. But first, let's go to Hutch's weather. I want to show you the leaf peeping because right now is the time to make your plans. We have weekend unsettled weather. Saturday, maybe a passing shower, but pretty good for most of the day. Sunday, early morning showers and then maybe a break. So there should be some leaf peeping time for you and for you as we head into your weekend. So if you go to hutchesweather.com, I want to share with you that my friend Joe, who helps with the website design, hard at work and bringing you the latest information you need right at the top of the page here with the fall leaf report for Minnesota. And if you happen to live out of Minnesota and you want to look at what usually happens elsewhere, check it out. We got a second map this year. All right, so let's go right to it and let's get into the fall colors for Minnesota. And here's the report. Now, what you're going to notice about this fancy leaf report is we have reds and dark reds. Dark reds past the peak. So basically, some areas of Northwest Minnesota are going by the peak, with the bright reds being 75 to 100% right in the wheelhouse of that peak season. So we have those sneaking down into parts of Becker County as well as Clay County and Otter Tail County right now. It is a stunning weekend to get out and drive and check out the colors. This with the slider at the bottom, you can slide across, thanks to my friends at the DNR for providing us with such a wonderful tool, shows where we see the average. As we look at the dates on here, this is October 17th and 18th, showing that on average, most of that will shift down into southern Minnesota for the best viewing. And look at this little hole in and around, well, our friends up there in northern Beltrami County as we look at Koochiching County as well, seeing some peak colors. All right, what happens if you happen to be in North Dakota, like many of us are? Well, you can upload your photos anywhere, anytime at hutchesweather.com of not only this gorgeous full moon out there, the harvest is ongoing, but the leaf colors as well. So if you do get out, please make sure you do that. Now, let's take a quick peek at other places across the nation with regards to when we typically see the colors there. And this map here, if we go up, let's see. Let's wait. Here it is. Now, this is just a slider, so it shows us the average conditions. We can slide the slider right down here to the date that we're at, and we are now in the second weekend of October, so we'll slide it there to around October 13th. And, well, by the time we get to and through the weekend, past peak up in northern parts of Minnesota and North Dakota, but peak across the beautiful country of western North Dakota, as well as central Minnesota and the I-94 corridor, central Wisconsin as well. So this gives you an idea of where you can go to see leaves this weekend or anytime by visiting Hutch's Weather and hutchesweather.com. So that's what's going on here. Let's get to your digits for the morning. If you're heading out and about, here's what Hutch thinks. And we're going to go over this in detail here in just a second as to why. I have had on my 7-day planner, I'll show it to you here, for the last several days, for 7 days as a matter of fact, a consistent forecast of 30 degrees for Wednesday. I have not changed it. Why? Well, I'm pretty confident we have a shot at it, if not right in Fargo-Moorhead, very close to us, at seeing below freezing temperatures. Now, those freezing temperatures are often common when we get to this time of year. We have a lot of peaks and valleys, and we've seen some 20s for lows and even teens for lows in areas of western North Dakota in the last 24 hours. So why is Hutch concerned about our dipping down so low tonight? Let me show you a look at our current temperatures across the region. Your now temperatures as we head into the night hours look like this. And let me know if you have a question about this process, but we call radiational cooling is the amount of time we have for the Earth's energy and heat it absorbs during the sunlight of the day to escape out to space. That escape of that energy out to space. Hey, Misty, good to see you on board. Thank you for watching. Oh, Bayfront, Duluth, Harbor Cam, Bentleyville. Thank you very much for checking that out, Nathan. We're already at 37 degrees. That's your temperature right now. 37 is lower than most forecast models had us for tonight. And Hutch has said 30. Here's why. And here's why there's a difference between Hutch's weather and some other areas that you catch your weather information. Because Number one, the rain that we were expecting to get mainly stayed north, and that's where I expected it to fall. We got very little here. We're extremely dry in the Southern Valley. That aids in cooling off more rapidly as we go through the overnight hours. Now, there's something called the dew point temperature, and that is the temperature that the air can fall to on a long, clear and calm night. Now, we're not going to be calm all night, but here in the early hours of the overnight, you betcha, the wind is quiet out there. And those leaves, Kay says, are changing, coming from Fergus Falls, beautiful country out there in Otter Tail County. Let's look at the dew point temperature. Remember, the air temperature 37, the temperature of the air that we need to cool it to for the air to be saturated is 25 degrees. So the air can quickly fall to 25 degrees in perfect conditions when the energy from the heat on your sidewalk, on the asphalt of the road, escapes to space. The ground cools fastest. And folks, we're going to have some freezing temperatures. Hutch brought in his plants tonight, and I don't do that every night because I believe we're going to freeze in Fargo. Now, there is a freeze warning in effect, and my friends at the National Weather Service have a freeze warning for counties up to the north. Here's what that looks like real quick, just to share with you. Where you see the purple counties, there's a freeze warning. This is for Grand Forks County. I'll get that icon off the screen there. Grand Forks County up to the international border. This includes Crookston, Thief River Falls, Foston, Red Lake Falls. If you're in well, anywhere from Roseau on into War Road and out towards Badette, also towards Rainy Lake. Those areas all have a very good chance of freezing. And I think a hard freeze or a killing freeze as we look out towards Virginia, Ely, and Grand Rapids area heading into and through the overnight. Same thing goes up north. Now, we've already had temperatures in the 20s the last couple of nights and low 30s in northern Cass County. But I am afraid we're going to see that here in the FM area because we're already down to 37 with a dew point in the 20s with quiet conditions across our area. So this is the area of a freeze warning, where a warning means conditions are favorable for freezing tonight. And a warning, different than a watch or different than an advisory. What's the difference? Someone was asking today, I think it's a fair thing to share with you, that a warning is issued when there is some risk to life or property. I hope that most of us are staying indoors tonight, but it's going to get cold enough for freezing. But what it does illustrate here, it's a warning because your plants outside, your tomatoes outside could be ended basically if you don't bring them in. You can also, if you don't have room in your house for your tomatoes, spray them with water. Takes a lot of energy from the atmosphere to evaporate water off things. So that's why they sprinkle things like apple orchards at night. So you wet those puppies down, maybe throw a blanket or a sheet over them, and hopefully that will help protect your plants. So it does look better in the extended forecast as we'll go back to the 7-day planner now and show you. Here's what we have going on. 30 tonight, 65, and we're warming it up all the way through Saturday. So we're going to enjoy some above average temperatures right through the weekend. Then here comes that chance of rain, maybe some snow in western and northwestern Minnesota. Not sold on it yet. I'm not lock, stock, and barrel about that, but just rain here in eastern North Dakota. Just rain in Minnesota as well. Then next week, a little bit chillier with some more model differences coming up a little bit later in the period. So that's a look at what's going on with the 7-day forecast. Here's what you can plan as we take a look at your tonight forecast. 30 in Fargo, 32 Grand Forks. We'll see some 20s out in the Arrowhead of Minnesota. That does include places like, I think, Grand Rapids. If you happen to be out north of Brainerd, particularly up maybe near the let's say Nisswa and points north of there, Crosby, I think you all have a decent chance at seeing some sub-freezing temperatures. Same thing goes for most of Hubbard County, including you in Park Rapids. A little warmer and milder out to the west thanks to those south winds that will set in. So that's a look at our temperatures in the early morning hours. South winds driving temperatures up. Some gusty winds out there over 30 miles per hour. Mid-60s in the valley. Near 70 at the Montana border, including Glendive and Wybox, otherwise pronounced Webo. And then as you take a look out in southern and central Minnesota, some cool temperatures from Duluth to the Twin Cities, only 55 to 60 degrees. Ethan says it was a chilly walk today. And that is a look at your forecast. All right, if there's no other questions, and I do believe I've answered most of them, we have some unsettled weather, but again, because we are cool and because we are dry, with temperatures already in the 30s, Hutch is forecasting frost-worthy temperatures, so now's the time to get in outdoors, bring in those potted plants that you want to, cover those tomatoes, and I even drained my garden hoses that are connected to my watering system so that I don't have a frozen hose up to the house and possibly cause for freezing pipes and all of that nonsense. We live in the Northern Plains. Have a wonderful evening. Check back in the morning for the latest in your weather. Thanks so much.
This has been a Hutch's Weather Update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching Hutch's Weather.